Peace and blessings. Peace, everybody. How you doing? Of course, this is HB here, Harold Branch. Honored to have you all hanging out with us and coming to check out our nightly decompressions when we just talk about some basic self-care topics, some positivity, some joy, give you permission to let go of the day, let go of the stresses of the day, because we know that there are a lot of stresses out here and a lot of things out here affecting your daily grind, affecting your purpose, affecting the very reason that you push so hard, that you fight so hard, that you struggle for. So we want to make sure that those reasons don't become large enough to stop you from accomplishing your goals, from making things happen, and for more importantly, right now, for moving forward the agenda of honestly Black Lives Matter, right? And us attacking racism at its core. We're at a very special space. We're at a very special place in history right now where we can absolutely confront so much of the systemic and industrialized racism and discrimination and prejudice that is out there and bring it to the forefront and make it uncomfortable, to be honest, for those who are comfortable in that system and in that environment. It's only going to change when people become uncomfortable. And unfortunately, the pain of so many millions of African Americans is not enough to make enough people uncomfortable. The untimely videotaped terrible treatment from random people across the US. None of this is enough to make people just uncomfortable enough to change. So we, and when I say we, I mean Black people and all those who love Black people and all those who, everyone who wants to see everyone treated equally, the same, properly, with dignity, honor, and respect, so that we can live and die with the same respect of anyone else. Anyone who believes that is willing to make the rest of the country and society who may not be that invested in that uncomfortable enough where they say, hey, just give them what they want. Let's just stop. Let's just change. Or maybe I've been missing something. Maybe it's worse than I realized. Maybe things are very, very serious right now. And so this is why we're here, to help us continue with the journey, because this journey is going to take some time. So if you're chiming in, say hello. Peace. How you doing, Shante? Thank you for chiming in. Say hello, say what's happening. We're happy to have you. My name is HB. This is Nightly Decompression. And we do these Monday through Friday to help us just refocus. We all grind all day long, including myself. I'm tired. Lynn, good to see you back for sure. Hey, Linda. And your energy revitalizes me, gives me energy, gives Dr. Angela Kenzslowe energy. We feed off of each other. This is a mutual exchange of vibration right here. Twanda, what's happening? Ronisha, hugs, right? Much love to everybody. So this mutual change of energy is just very important. And we feed off each other and we make things happen. Brother Rick, good to see you, sir. All right. So with that said, it's 8 o'clock. Let me go ahead and bring aboard my co-host, Dr. Angela Kenzslowe, who is a psychologist licensed here in the state of Arizona, who focuses on working with our veterans and trauma, and is spectacular, not just in that area of her work, but also as a consultant, as a trainer, as a speaker, and more important than all of that, just a beautiful spirit, phenomenal foundation, and amazing person. Amy, you're more than welcome. D is in the house. I see you. Amy, what's happening? Pleasure. Let's bring on Dr. Angela Kenzslowe.
Hey, good evening.
Hey, boss, how are you?
I am wonderful. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good, doing great. To be honest, the energy sometimes is low right beforehand. And then once I start seeing the numbers pop up and it's 29 people, 30 people, 31 people watching, I'm like, oh, There go my people. And it's
Yay!
that energy translates
Yeah. Yeah.
through video.
Yeah.
That's strange, just knowing that they're there. I can't see them, but I could feel them. It's weird. It's weird. I may be a warlock. I think I got powers.
I have nothing to say.
You see how my psychologist treats me, right? I think I got powers. She's like, you're on your own, buddy.
Yeah. You know, do you, Mr. Branch, have thoughts that you're capable of doing things that other people are not capable of doing?
Every day.
Do you hear things that other people don't hear? Do you see things that other people don't see?
All the time. All the time.
So that's funny, and I won't go down this rabbit hole, but we call that, we start asking those questions to seek for psychosis. But however, if it's culturally relevant, then we forego psychosis. So there's people who see things and hear things who we say are psychotic. And then there's people who see things and hear things who we say it's culturally appropriate to see things and hear things. So it's, yeah. So I know that's not what we're talking about tonight, but
I think we need to figure that part out.
Yeah.
And, not tonight, but I want to dive into the culturally appropriate voices and images, because I may be culturally appropriate or I may be psychotic. It could go either way.
You're probably not psychotic.
It could go either way.
Yeah.
So
you're frozen. I'm missing everything you're saying right now.
Something happened with the internet. Are you back?
I'm here.
Okay, that was weird. It just, you start calling out the voices. You see what happened. So this weekend was a powerful weekend. It was a great weekend of celebration, with starting off with Juneteenth and ending with Father's Day. And so obviously happy Juneteenth to everyone that honors it. Everyone that doesn't honor it needs to start honoring it. From my perspective, it really is a commemorative day in the nation, in the most influential phase of this country and what this country has done. At the end of the day, if it wasn't for the Africans brought here, America would not be the America it is. And honestly, the planet wouldn't look like it does right now from the contributions of those said people, right? So any progress made by said people is a progress not just for the nation, but for the world, for the globe, in and of itself. Because all groups rise when that particular group rises. It's amazing how that works. So that was just a phenomenal time. And then, of course, Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.
Happy Father's Day, everyone.
Thank you. I received it. And the reason we want to talk about celebration tonight and not allowing anything to steal your joy. And where this is coming from is doing these videos. I find myself being very transparent in my mistakes, in my challenges, in the things that I have allowed to hinder me at different phases of my life. I'm 42 right now. And
you're not still 19.
I'm not still 19. I'm not 19 times 2 plus 4, right? So I am officially 2 score, not 4 score, but 2 score plus, right? And there has been some things that has hindered my journey, hindered me in different times, just kind of slowed me up, affected me in different ways, and I learned from it. And hence where wisdom occurs.
Right.
That occurs from making the mistake, learning from the mistake, and then understanding it enough to be able to share the lesson so someone else doesn't have to make that same mistake. And some mistakes that I've made is not doing the things I've wanted to do because of how it may be perceived, even though I knew nothing was wrong with it, but how it may be perceived, or because of stereotypes and not wanting to fulfill stereotypes and just different things. I just didn't want to move my people back 400 years with certain stuff.
What's an example of something that you're talking about that you wouldn't do because you were fearful of fulfilling a stereotype?
If I was at an event with coworkers
Mm-hmm.
And let's say it was like like a little party.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like the only black guy there.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be the first one out there dancing. I don't care how much I love it. You know, right? That was my thing. Like, I'm not gonna be the first one out there dancing. Yeah. So now the black guys, the ones out here dancing. See, I knew it. Like, just the thought of that messed me up. You know, I want to eat fried chicken in mixed company. For years. I just wouldn't do it. I'm like, no, so they could take a picture or something. So they could be like, yep, knew it.
Wow.
And who doesn't enjoy, like that's not a black, trust me, black people are not keeping Purdue in business, right? These dumb stereotypes are not black things. But I'm not about to, you know, in my mindset for years, it was like, I'm not about to knock down this watermelon and I'm the only brother in the room. I'm not going to town like I would at the family reunion. Just not. And it took me some time to get beyond that. But what brought it up right now is the traction that Juneteenth is starting to get. And you're seeing a lot of people doing different things. And then we saw the Democrats kneeling with kente cloth on and stuff. It was a lot of mixed feelings on these different things. But Juneteenth is starting to get a lot of attention to the point to where the president claimed that he was making it famous, right? Ridiculous behavior. Please. Because the only part I saw people start to be a little discouraging on something that's beautiful because somebody else dove into the conversation of it. And I don't.
So we know he does a lot of gaslighting. Right. We know that 45.
Define gaslighting.
So the way that I'm taking it, saying one thing doesn't mean what you're saying it means.
Right.
So he's saying, I made Juneteenth famous. When really what happened was there was a lot of news and a lot of pushback and a lot of protesting regarding him scheduling a rally on Juneteenth in Tulsa, where it's the historical date of, it's just, that whole thing was crazy. So this is the part where this is the part where my comment will probably be very unpopular. So in that regard, because that occurred, yes, a lot of people who did not know what Juneteenth was now know, but not because he was this forward-thinking person saying, I think everyone should know what Juneteenth. It was because he was being, I'm going to choose my words nicely, he and the administration that supports him were being very ignorant and imbeciles.
Yes.
In regard to scheduling a rally in Tulsa that has very white nationalist undertones when it comes to his Make America Great and all the other things that he does, holding the Bible like this. And I mean, just all. So did his actions help push forward the agenda of those who celebrate Juneteenth and now are cities like Tempe, Arizona, making them holidays? Mm-hmm. Yes. Do other people know now what it is who wouldn't necessarily celebrate Juneteenth? Yes. Is it because he was this great man? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And thank you. Because all of that is real. I agree with absolutely everything you said. Unfortunately, I saw, on Facebook through this kind of discussion around it, I've seen some people kind of almost pull back from it. And I've seen us do it before, where something we have and hold dear is beautiful, it's amazing. And then when it starts to become popular, almost mainstream starts to get a hold of it. And we know mainstream can destroy some things. It didn't. Man, what happened to hip hop when mainstream got a hold of it? What happened with spoken word when mainstream got a hold of it? Jazz, blues, and things like that. And the whole idea of appropriation, is it could be taken from a culture that developed it for the sake of dealing with oppression. And then it could be taken often by members of the group that oppressed, and the credit not even be returned. If it was done and not be done in an honorable fashion, the challenge is sometimes that'll pull many of us from even continuing to love it as much as we want to.
Right, and that's there, but that's where HB, where we have to focus on changing our thinking.
Agreed.
So if this is something that I enjoy, if spoken word is something that I truly enjoy,
mm-hmm.
and it's an art form that I'm able to express myself, and now I'm seeing that there's this whole other group who's doing spoken word. Now, I will say, though, that in different cultures, like in Hawaiian culture, it's called, talking story, where you just sit down and talk and have more of a conversation. And I think if we help people to understand, and I'm not saying that we have to educate, but if we help people to understand the difference between appreciation and appropriation.
Yep.
And if we don't allow people's appreciation to turn into appropriation by still holding the reins, then we're still able to enjoy it. So does that make sense? It's once, if we go in with the thinking that, because now these people over here are doing the same thing, so now I can't enjoy it, then that's how we give it away and it goes away.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And and really that's the whole point of tonight, is saying, don't let go what's yours, no matter what's going on.
Yeah, be authentic to yourself.
Say again?
I'm saying just being authentic to yourself. So if we're authentic to ourselves and genuine to ourselves, it doesn't matter what you're doing over there. I'm still going to enjoy what I enjoy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Enjoy what you enjoy. And if you celebrate, whether if it's Kwanzaa, Juneteenth, man, if you don't even know about it, I learned about Juneteenth when I moved to the West Coast. Yeah. I wasn't very aware. I thought I was very hip and, on point with my Black history and things like that. I didn't realize it was so celebrated until I came out West.
I didn't know about Juneteenth until about 15 years ago.
See, right? So as we honor it, as we hold it close, as we love on it, don't stop loving on it just because others love on it too. Don't let anything, and even if they talk about it, even if they say it's stupid, even if they say, we have never cared what other people said or thought. At least we shouldn't have, right? And we need to celebrate because we want to celebrate. And when I say celebrate, I mean everything that's ours, but everything, if it's done properly with appreciation, everything is ours. Everything.
What do you mean?
What I mean is, like you were saying, versus appreciation and appropriation, right? If we're not trying to take over, or someone isn't trying to totally take over and they're giving credit, that's where my thing is. As long as they're giving credit, I'm good. I'm really good.
Yeah.
But I would hate for anyone to celebrate anything less than they actually want to.
Because what happens, so Juneteenth, for an example, and then we're at 8:14, and this is such a wonderful conversation, and we might have to do a part 2. Meaning tomorrow. Not extended tonight, because we want to be respectful of people's time. But my thought is, we're saying right now, hear me, hear my voice. We're saying we've been oppressed, you've been the oppressor, and now we need you so we can start to do this, right? And so even saying, I want to say this without getting in trouble and people think I'm saying something different. We have to begin to allow more appreciation and not saying this is something that only is for me.
Right.
And the reason why I say that specifically in regard to Juneteenth is it's everyone's history.
Because it's American history.
Because it's American history.
Absolutely.
And we're trying to say, make Black history mainstream. So I don't know that we should say, hey, this is just for us.
At all.
And it's right. And it's appropriation, because we're saying, hear us, include us. we don't want to be oppressed anymore. And so we have to change that thinking of, no, absolutely. I'm so glad and so wonderful that everyone's learning about Juneteenth. I'm glad that now everyone, other people are starting to celebrate, and maybe we can educate on how and the reasons why it's being celebrated, or what are some good ways to celebrate. But I just think we have to be really mindful of saying this is just for us, while we're still fighting, saying include us.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And I know what you're saying, and we're gonna have to continue it tomorrow. We're gonna have to continue, but clearly this is a topic we need to continue and discuss and move on with, because there's different things from the ancient Mima. There's a lot of emotions out there around these things. Mm-hmm. But know that even if you do feel a certain way, I believe as Black people in America, we have the right to feel different ways, because we're all still recovering from an immense amount of trauma, even if it's not the healthiest thing. So we'll work it through to make it healthy, but your emotions are justified no matter how you feel.
Right.
Because it's coming out of trauma, right? A group trauma from my perspective.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say? That's
fair to say. And everyone from who are from different parts of the country are going to experience that differently. Mm-hmm. So we're at 8:17, but the bottom line for tonight, I think the goal for tonight that we had spoken about is really being able to maintain your joy.
Yeah.
And not allowing the actions of other people to take away the things that we enjoy. Just like you were saying, hey, I like to dance, and before I wouldn't be the first person out there because of a stereotype. Man, I'm going to go out there and dance.
Do what I want now. I don't care.
Part of that, so though, I think is wisdom and age.
Age, you get 40, whatever.
Like, I don't care, That's how I come on here with no makeup. It's 8 o'clock at night. I'm not doing it.
Family, we love y'all. We're not going to talk her off. We'll see you tomorrow. Remember, we are warriors. We're in a righteous and beautiful journey and beautiful battle, if you will, righting the wrongs of history. Right now, it's a special time. But as warriors, we do have to know how to fight, but we also have to know how to heal. Never forget that. We got to know how to heal. And Dr. Angela Kenzslowe and myself are here to help with that healing process on a nightly basis, so that we could get back into that good fight tomorrow. Be good, be wonderful, be solid, and we will see you all at 8 p.m. Arizona time tomorrow to continue part 2 of this appropriation, celebration, sharing Black history's American history conversation. Okay? Peace and love. See y'all tomorrow. Bye.